We know that Tavin's been playing Death Stranding 2. Oh, he's been so excited for it. He's been so happy.
Let me go.
But the real thing.
Let me go.
We finished Castle Crashers.
Yeah.
Way bigger.
Review
Way bigger.
on the channel. By the time, if you're watching on YouTube, it's already there.
Yep, it's already there. Go watch it. And see where it ends up on the list.
We're going to have a conversation.
I still do not know. As the time
I feel like I know exactly
fully confident on where it's going.
That's good. I look at the list and I'm like, where? But we'll find out.
No, I know. No, I know exactly where.
I know where it's going.
Yeah.
But Tavin, you seem so excited.
Watch for like 7 spots of different.
Tavin, you're so excited.
Yeah, I've been playing Death Stranding 2 on the beach. This is the sequel to the 2019 video game Death Stranding, Hideo Kojima's comeback game that was, I'll say, was varied in response. You know, some people really liked it, some people really hated it.
It's a 90 on OpenCritic.
The new one is, yes. The first game is like an 83.
Gotcha.
And I liked the game, didn't love the game, but I really liked it. My biggest part about that I liked was that gameplay loop of delivering the packages, building up your resources, and making the trek between each location easier every time you went on it. Building zip lines, rebuilding roads, all of that. All of that I really, really loved. And on top of that, just like the challenge of carrying a ridiculous amount of packages on your back and going somewhere with that. Like, it was just fun to me. The story I'm less crazy about. I think it's overall good. It's just in a classic Kojima way, overwritten and in some ways underwritten. A lot of characters do a lot of talking and not a lot actually gets said. But as I said earlier in this podcast, has one of the best video game twists that I've witnessed in quite a while, that really recontextualized the entire story and made it a lot cooler, in my opinion. So I've been playing Death Stranding 2. I am 25 plus hours into it right now. I'm well into Australia now. You start in Mexico. That's your tutorial segment. For those who are familiar with the first game, it's a lot like the eastern side of the map, or the eastern region of the map. It's about that size, maybe a little bit bigger in Mexico. Mexico was great. I'm fairly deep into Australia now. I've covered maybe a quarter of the Australian continent as of right now. And let me tell you, boys, this is a Kojima banger, which I didn't think he was capable of giving us anymore. I really didn't think we were going to get a Kojima video game to this level ever again. This went, I still have to play the game and beat it and get all the way through. I would say I'm still early, but I have, I found my feet in the game. So it's enough for me to definitely feel confident of talking about it. This might go down as a top 3 Kojima game.
Damn.
It's that good so far, the story is much more coherent, much more straightforward, and they take a lot of really bold choices that I'm still waiting for them to pay off, but I have confidence that they will pay those choices off.
I mean, as far as narrative and you talking about it, it does the same thing the first game does, where it loads it with a lot of talking and plot points, and then
actually,
goes to gameplay.
So you're referencing in the first game, it's very cutscene heavy in the beginning, and then it's hours of gameplay, and then it's very cutscene heavy at the end.
Yeah.
Right. And they sprinkle some long cutscenes in between there, but the balance is off. This one I actually think is paced much better. It's a decent amount of here's a decent sized cutscene. Now go do a mission. Here's another good sized cutscene. The cutscenes are still long. Don't get me wrong, but they don't feel as long. The momentum of the cutscenes are better. And as far as I can tell, they don't do the Metal Gear Solid thing where a long cutscene ends, you walk forward 5 spaces, and then another one starts. They don't really do that. So I think the pacing so far has been great. It is slowing down narratively, I think, to now expand on gameplay and give you this big map to explore and all this, which I'm so on. I kind of wish the momentum of the story would keep going, because I'm really finding the narrative really interesting in this game, especially because the meta narrative that Kojima loves to do. This is a spiritual sequel to Metal Gear Solid 2. He is basically picking up where he left off at the end of 2 and going, okay, where are we now 20 years later with that idea? And bleak. It's very bleak, which is strange for Kojima because I feel like he's more often than not an optimist.
Yeah.
Even when like the stories in his games do get dark, they always end with essentially the characters riding off into the sunset, right? Like I think all the Metal Gear Solid's kind of in that way, except for 3. And Death Stranding kind of ended that way, and so now for this one to be like, oh, this feels like it's not gonna have a happy ending, is kind of surprising to me. Again, you got to catch me in another 30 plus hours to tell you if that's what happens or not. But as of right now, I'm like, ooh, this is like really pessimistic. Like, and I'm not used to that from Kojima. Gameplay, it's still Death Stranding. You are still delivering packages. If you online, these two gentlemen haven't really played Death Stranding.
I installed it on my PS5 yesterday.
The first one? Oh, nice. Good. Let me know how you feel. The first game, if you like straight up hated it, didn't like it, couldn't enjoy it at all, I don't think this game is going to be any different for you. I don't think you're going to hate it, but I just don't think you're going to like it. Like still, like if you hated it, then there's not much different here that's going to do. But basically every like, God, I wish this wouldn't happen, or every, God, I wish I could do this moment of the first game has been resolved here, like entirely. There's a lot of really amazing quality of life improvements. There's a lot of like finessing and improving on things that weren't so good in the first game. Combat is improved quite greatly in this one. I still wouldn't say it's like the best combat ever, but it's better. Like I'm not like dreading combat when it comes up. I am going, oh, okay, well let's see how I'm gonna handle this bandit.
The backpack comes off.
The backpack does come off. I actually don't like doing that.
Really?
That much. It definitely has its purpose, but you can only carry one weapon on you. And, me being a stealth first player, so like I'll go in with when you take the backpack off, you have a pistol holster and then whatever the one gun is that you had on your back.
Okay.
Whereas like if you have your whole backpack, you can carry your whole arsenal that you got with you into battle. So like, I what I'm typically holding is a silenced pistol, a tranquilizer sniper, and a Ebola gun and an assault rifle, which is a lot to be carrying on you at one time.
An Ebola gun?
Huh?
An Ebola gun?
No, just a Ebola gun. You shoot it and it wraps around their feet and they go, and then they fall down.
When you say that it has the potential to be like top 3 Kojima, I'm assuming, knowing you, it would fall right underneath Snake Eater and Sons of Liberty.
Yeah, probably. Unless it like does something so mind blowing to where like it can somehow supersede what Sons of Liberty did. I don't foresee that happening, but we'll see. I don't foresee this overtaking Snake Eater at all for me.
Yeah.
Like because they're still like combat's still kind of janky. It's I don't think stealth is much better in this game, but I don't think it's great. Like it's very much one of those games that like I'm gonna be sneaky until I get caught, and then it's guns blazing, and I'm blah 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 blah. Whereas like in Metal Gear, that's a stealth game. Like I'm stealthy. If I get caught, I run and hide, or I'll like quickly take out the 2 people in front of me and then run and hide, In this one, it's like, oh, I got caught. All right, the assault rifle's coming out, and I'm popping headshots left and right.
Stealth until it's not.
Yeah, 100%. And again, I don't think the stealth is that great. I feel like you get caught really easily, but maybe I'm just bad.
How do you feel about how much of the game has been spoiled on TikTok?
I hate it. You guys on TikTok are doing way too much. Connor's seen the pizza guy fight, which I've only seen like a moment of.
I've also seen the pizza guy fight.
Yeah, like why are we showing that? Like why is that happening? There's other moments in the game that have been not spoiled, but like it's clearly like that's like way far in advance, and that's really like there's a specific image with Doll Man that I've seen that I'm like, oh, I wish I hadn't seen that because it's like a weird Kojima thing, and I wish I had seen that when it came up in the game, I think people are way too comfortable online throwing out spoilers and showing scenes that like you got to be so many hours deep into, especially because like to me, a Death Stranding is supposed to be played slowly.
Yeah.
Like you are supposed to like not completionist it, but like you're supposed to like be delivering packages and going back and backtracking and improving your relationship with the different preppers so that you can get better and new equipment and so forth like that. So like the other night, I've basically 100%ed Mexico, and I kind of did it by accident just because I found myself in that loop of, oh, well, I'm going to go back there and get the connection so I can see if there's like any gear that I missed that would be really nice to have. And I was like, oh, well, let me do another run to that guy. He's just right there. I'll just go run. And then I ended up spending 3 hours just making deliveries to these 5-6 different preppers.
So where are you in the first game? Like,
North America.
Just North
You're
America?
in North America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eastern, like it's more like, where is it
You
again?
you cross the whole country.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't look like America,
Yeah.
but you cross the whole country.
Gotcha. Because I know, like, you said it already, but Mexico and Australia
Yeah.
are the places you go into.
So far, yeah. I have a sneaking suspicion there's a third country, continent somewhere in there, but I could be wrong. It's one of those things that, like, the map looks small, but then when you actually are exploring it, you go, oh, no, this is big. Like, because it just takes time to travel places in Death Stranding games. Speaking on where location in this game, it's incredible after playing so much Death Stranding. One, there's a lot of it looks like Iceland. A lot of it looks like Iceland. And then there's like snowy mountains and then like one like small desert area that you don't have to spend a lot of time in. So a lot of the first game looks pretty samey. It's a lot of like gray rocks with green moss on them.
Gray, green, blue.
The difference in environment that I've seen already is such a breath of fresh air. And in a game where like traversing the environment matters, diversifying that environment adds so much to the game. Just because it's so much more of like, oh, this is like a sandy area. Oh, this is like a rocky area. Oh, this is like a grassy area. Okay, cool. Like just like those small differences that I've seen already have already been like, oh, it's just so much more like visually stimulating than the first game was. Yeah, I'm in love with this game. I'm obsessed with it. When I'm not playing it, I'm thinking about it. There's been so many times at work now where like I've stood next to my bartender who also plays games, and I'm like, I could be playing video games right now. And he goes, yeah, what are you playing? I'm like, Death Stranding. He goes, is it good? I'm like, I'm obsessed. I can't stop thinking about it. Like, I just want to be delivering packages right now.
You could say it's a contender for Game of the Year.
It absolutely
True.
is. It absolutely is, Connor.